Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Seva Gurukulam online classes in a very interesting chapter of combustion and flame. Have you had food? Yes? You are ready? Okay, take a paper, pen and get ready. Before we come to today's topic, we will see or revise the previous topics. Fuels used in daily life. Can you name some of the fuels? Yes? Coming to solids, we have wood, then charcoal. They are solid fuels, correct? Liquid fuels, you have petrol, diesel, etc. Coming to gaseous fuels, you have LPG, CNG, etc. So, these are the fuels used in daily life. Of course, a list is there, big list. And you know what is the meaning of the word combustion. When a substance is burnt in the presence of oxygen, it gives energy, the liberation of heat. And when you say combustion, there are two types. One is called external combustion, another is internal combustion. Where do you get external combustion? When a wood is heated, a charcoal is burnt, that is external combustion, correct? Internal may be inside our body, that is also combustion. How do you say? Suppose you take your hand inside your shirt, you feel it is very hot. Even outside weather is very cold, it will be very hot. Where that hotness comes? That is because of the combustion that takes place. So, there will be evolution of heat there, is it not? That is also we have studied in the previous class. Also we have seen about combustible substances and non-combustible substances. Like petrol, diesel, kerosene, etc. They are combustible, they catch fire very quickly, LPG also. Non-combustible means, say wood, charcoal, etc. They are non-combustible. Paper also, cardboard, all this. They will catch fire only in presence of more heat, external. And also we have seen condition for combustion. Three things are needed. What are that three things? One is fuel, then heat, then oxygen. For a combustion to take place, these three things are needed. If any one of them is not present, the combustion stops there, correct? So, these are the things you have seen in the previous class. Okay. Now, let us come to answers to the home assignment. First question, classify the following into three kinds of fuels. So, the list of fuels was given. We have to classify into three kinds, namely solids, liquids, gaseous fuels. I think you have done it, is it not? How many have done it? All? Okay. Solid fuels are wood, charcoal, even coal also is there, is it not? Liquid fuels, diesel, that is given. Gaseous fuel is LPG. So, whatever is given you have to classify and make groups. Okay. What is combustion? Give an example. A chemical process in which substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. Okay. So, sometimes not only heat, light also comes out. Suppose you take a candle, it is a combustible substance. Suppose you heat it or if you burn it, what happens? You get heat also, light also. So, but you cannot see light in all cases. For example, in the digestion in our body, light is not coming, only heat is coming. So, that is why you can't generalize this. It is a chemical process anyway. If you take our body, we eat apple, and while eating apple, by the help of oxygen, it gets converted and gives energy, and there will be a chemical change. Is it not? For example, burning of candle, burning of magnesium. Have you seen magnesium? Yes, it's a ribbon, magnesium ribbon. When it is heated in presence of a candle or a spirit lamp, it catches fire. Is it not? And when it catches fire, there will be both heat as well as light. It burns with a dazzling white color. Correct? So, this is an answer for that question. Now, one more question. How does magnesium burn in air? Magnesium is a white colored metal. It is usually in the form of a ribbon. So, a piece of it is cut and you have to handle it with a spatula or a handle, and a spirit lamp. If you heat it, we find a dazzling white color forming magnesium oxide. So, magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Equation is 2 Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. Okay. So, these are the answers for the home assignment. What is this you are going to see? This is the sun is shining. So, due to the sun's rays or heat of the sun, the water in the pond or in the sea or in the river gets evaporated, and that forms clouds, and these clouds again get cooled and forms rains, and these rain will again form streams, streams to rivers, rivers to sea. That is what is called as water cycle, and all this is possible because of the sun. When you say sun, it has got enormous amount of energy. And what is the source of energy in the case of sun? It's a very mystery, is it not? So, you see it is a very bright, hot source of energy. And what does this energy comes for sun? It is there from 4,500 million years. Still the energy is not exhausted, and everybody will wonder how that energy comes to sun. Here heat and light are produced by thermonuclear fusion reactions. Fusion takes place. There are two types of thermal reactions, nuclear reactions. One is nuclear fission, breaking up of nucleus. Another is nuclear fusion. Here it is nuclear fusion that takes place, that gives the enormous amount of energy for the sun. Hydrogen is converted into helium. Okay. And also we know, here you see a person, he is not dead, he is alive. Okay. Do not think that he is a dead man. What they have done, they have covered him with a blanket. So, because some fire has caught him while doing some service, fire has caught him, and to avoid that fire to get burnt, they have covered him with a blanket. You can use gunny bags also, but do not use water. Why? What happens if water is poured on the person who caught fire? Boils will come. correct? And you should be very careful that time. You should not take tension. You can pour sand also, because the purpose is the fire continues to burn if there is supply of oxygen. So you have to cut the supply of oxygen. That can be done by covering him with a blanket. And when the clothes of person catches fire, a person is covered with a blanket to extinguish fire. So that's what they do. Usually they take gunny bags also. Okay. Now let us see a small activity to show that oxygen is necessary for combustion. When I was just explaining you about the fire accident, I reminded of a accident due to LPG gas. Shall I tell that? Okay, you must sit straight, be attentive. It happened in Hubli. Actually, the parents are there now also. They had 3 children, one of which was studying in our school, class 10th. And father had 2 daughters, both are studying in degree, BA 3rd year and 1st year. And one day it so happened that LPG, that gas cylinder opened, and there was full gas was spread into the kitchen. She was not knowing. So she opened a lighter, and when the lighter was opened, immediately the whole room caught fire. And she could not escape. The fire caught to her sari. She became unconscious. Suddenly her sister was there nearby, shouted, "Sister, sister, sister." And it so happened, she also got fire. Actually, she should have used this blanket, as I was just now telling you, or some gunny bag, something like that. But she did not do, out of emotion. No, out of over attachment to the sister. She also came and she also got fire. So they were shouting and the neighbors came. By that time mother has gone to market, father has gone to office. So they were informed, they came, immediately they were taken to the hospital. But bad luck was both the sisters died of the incident. Why I am telling is, you should be very careful when the LPG is there. You should close the knob tightly and see that there is no leakage anywhere. And you should not keep it open anywhere. Of course, nowadays they have got one chemical. They have added to the gas, they have added to the liquid that is present in the cylinders. It is called ethyl mercaptan, by which the smell comes. But in the earlier days there were no, that chemical was not there. So anyway, you have to be very careful. A, B, C of life is always be careful. Okay. Now let us see one small activity. So a piece of burning wood or charcoal is placed on iron plate or tawa. Think of a tawa. Okay. Place some charcoal on that, and you heat it. It is then covered with a glass jar or a tumbler. So that charcoal is covered with a glass jar. And what do you observe? You will observe that the burning of charcoal stops because of shortage of oxygen. Because you are covering that charcoal with a tumbler, oxygen supply is cut, and hence it won't burn. So that is what you can observe. This shows that for combustion, oxygen is necessary. So 3 things. One is fuel, there is oxygen, third is heat. Correct? So this activity shows that you can also try yourself. Seeing is believing. Even if I tell, you should try to do it yourself. Okay? And you might what is this figure about? Can you guess it? Anybody? Come on. Yes, it is the what you call Kalgichu in Kannada. is a forest fire. Very unfortunate. Can you tell me what are the dangers out of these forest fires? Yes, so many birds. Of course, birds may not die, they fly off. So many, small creatures, even rabbits, sometimes small, pigs, many small creatures, they will die off. And more than that, lot of plantations or vegetation is burnt. What a loss for the nature, is it not? Should be very careful in such cases. Sometimes it catches fire of its own accord in extreme heat of summer. The dry grass catches fire. Okay? From the grass it spread to trees, and very soon the whole forest will be in fire. Catches of its own heat, because then when the rocks get heated up, because of the rocks heated up, the dry grass nearby it also gets heated up. That will catch the fire. It is very difficult to control such fires. Of course, lot of, can you name that vehicle which comes or stops the fire? Yes, fire brigade, correct? Yeah, or it is also called fire engine. How do they come? They make noise. You heard it? So when the fire brigade comes, all other vehicles will give the way. There is no signal stop also. They go straight without stop. Is it not? Especially the boys or girls who are in the city, you know it very well. In villages, you may not find that fire brigade. Okay? And one more interesting thing you should know that about ignition temperature. There is an interesting factor. So what is this? It's a kerosene lamp, correct? There is a wick here, there is a glass here, and there is an adjustment here, some type of screw, and kerosene is kept here. Of course, nowadays it is not found. Nowadays they have got a mobile torch and some other kind of torches are used, and UPSC will be there. So there will be suddenly, when the power goes, they will replace it. But in the olden days it was there. Here if you observe, even if you want to burn a candle, you cannot light it at once. It takes some time. Even especially girls are there. Girls know they will light the lamp in home. Of course, boys also do it. During festival times at least, they light a lamp. By lighting a lamp, even if you scratch matchstick, fire will come out. It takes some time. Correct? Immediately it won't catch fire. That is what is called as ignition temperature. The lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called ignition temperature. Use the word, note the word ignition, I-G-N-I-T-I-O-N, ignition temperature. So it is a temperature. What type of temperature? It is when substance catches fire. Just now I gave examples, you understood I think. If you want to light a candle or light a lamp like this, is it not? It will take some time, little time it takes. Or light a jyoti, that temperature. To light a lamp using matchstick, the stick has to be scratched on the matchbox, and light that is produced will take some time to burn the lamp. Even for the matchstick to catch fire, you have to make scratches, is it not? And that is why the surfaces of the matchbox will be little rough. Do you know what they add for that? Yes, they add glass pieces, small pieces will be there, and they use red phosphorus and some other chemicals. So when you scratch it, only when you scratch it, the matchstick will catch fire. If you don't scratch, fire will not come. Is it not? So this is a matchbox which all of you know. This is the rough surface, and that is it contains red phosphorus and pieces of glass, And what you do, you have to strike it. You have to strike the matchstick to the side of the match box, it is called. A match box will have about sometimes 50, sometimes 100, depends, of matchsticks. So Bhagavad Gita is like a matchbox. Each shloka is like a matchstick. So one stick is enough for our life. If you practice one shloka correctly, ananya chintayanto mam yajana pariyupasate tesham nityabhayuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I look after the yoga and kshema of you. When you remember me, ananya chintayanto mam, ananya, that without God nothing is there. That type of devotion if you have, I will look after your yoga and kshema, says the Lord in Bhagavad Gita. So here the Lord says, is one stick is enough to light a lamp. You need not use all the sticks, correct? So like that, one thought, one good thought, one good word, one good action will make us more active. So in a matchbox, the head of the matchstick contains antimony trisulfide and potassium chlorate. So here this red color, red color is due to red phosphorus. Together with that you have antimony trisulfide and potassium chlorate. So the rubbing surface has powdered glass and a little red phosphorus. Here there will be glass pieces, as I was just now telling you, and red phosphorus also. And then you may ask, why not white phosphorus? White phosphorus is poisonous. And in those days, in earlier days, they are using white phosphorus. But it led to some of the diseases called phossy jaw. So when the matchstick is struck against the rubbing surface, a reaction takes place and start the combustion. So when you strike it, I need not explain, you know all that. Very simple thing. Okay, but you just see this point here. What is the point? Point about ignition temperature. As you see, suddenly only one strike will not give you fire. Once, twice, thrice, four, like that. Sometimes it won't come at all. You will be upset. What is this matchbox? That is, especially rainy seasons, it becomes wet. The surface will be, wet, and then it may not give fire at all. Okay? So, this is a very interesting thing, which all of you know it. So, let us go to the home assignment. List the conditions under which combustion take place. Can you write it? Okay. Name the reactions by which enormous amount of heat and light is given out by the sun. Okay. Third question, what do you mean by ignition temperature? Fourth, white phosphorus is not used in matchsticks. Why? Okay, come prepared for that. Now let us see what Bhagavan Baba says. Bhagavan Baba Uvacha. Uvacha means the statement, what he says. God has given you tongue to speak sweetly and softly and utter only those words which are true. Okay? So nice statement. Sweetly and softly you must talk, and truthful statements. Okay? Let's try to practice it. Try to come prepared with the answers. Try to answer the home assignments. Thank you.